All right. Gotta love a good last second troubleshooting on issues and things, but I'm having issues with the multi-stream, and generally speaking, usually I can talk to you guys and see your comments from all the different platforms, with the exception of Rumble. So when people on X take the moment to make a comment, boom, it appears here with an X icon next to it. And the same thing for Facebook Live and Twitch. But unfortunately, it's not working tonight. So the only thing we got on screen right now over here is YouTube. And if you're chatting from the other locations, I won't be able to see it live tonight and respond to it. So my apologies, but I don't know why. I'm just glad it looks like the stream's launched okay. So we got that going for us, but I don't know what we're dealing with here for sure. I got to crank up my headphone volume a little bit. There we go. So, welcome everybody to the Friday show. Sorry I had to start a few minutes late, but I was redoing configurations, reestablishing connections between like YouTube and my Restream app, and trying to troubleshoot it. But I just had to give up. We had to get live. Unfortunately, I'm still not using the new computer. It's really close, but it wasn't quite ready tonight. I didn't have enough time to get it all wrapped up. So I'm shooting for tomorrow. I don't know. But even if I didn't make it tomorrow, I will be doing a test stream as soon as I get it ready. So if you guys are available for that, that'd be great. It's just going to be a test stream. I'll probably title it Test Stream, just so you guys know, but I don't know. I just want to see that everything's working, that I have the files that I need, but I've got it all situated over here. And by the time I tie it into the studio, I'm kind of committed at that point, because there's about a gajillion different connections and screens and cable management going on here. So it's a one-way trip. How you doing, Car Juice? Good to see you. Barbara Mora, Justin Good Earth are all over there on the Rumble. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming in. And I guess I can just do participants now. Let me just do this and see just who's here on YouTube so far. So far, we've got Annie Manuel, Bill Simone, Brandy Copeland, Deborah Neighbors, Jem Gwynn is here. Happy Dog Lady is here. How you doing? All of you guys. John Stevenson is here. Kat Doherty, Maggie M10, Owl 13, Phil Funk, Rachel gets it right. T-Bone, the unknown. Someone just popped in. Elaine popped in. Good to see you, Elaine. Thank you for coming in. So that's who's here so far. That's who's chatting so far. Again, participants list is only those people that are participating in chat. One thing I guess I've been hearing about lately, and I always tell people like and subscribe and all this stuff, but apparently what the buzz is now, at least according to Tex, this is what Tex told me. So I don't know. Maybe he's got a better information than I've got. I don't really get information. But thank God for people like Tex that keep me up to date. But apparently the big thing right now for YouTube is these longer shows and comments. So if you're watching this video and it's not live, please leave a comment. It goes a long way into helping to show engagement on the actual stream, and that will help me with the algorithm. Hopefully, we're always trying to crack the algorithm code, the enigma machine that is the YouTube algorithm. But that's what they're saying now. So if you wouldn't mind, leave me comments. Of course, like and subscribe as well. Ring the notification bell if you're on YouTube, and of course, like and subscribe. Follow wherever you're watching this. That would do me a lot of good. So if you want to help support the portal, that's a great way to do it, and it doesn't cost you a thing. And it would mean the world to me if you want to support the the portal in ways that do cost you. Then, of course, there's a donation link here, or you can do super chats on YouTube, or super stickers, I guess is the other one. And certainly you can become a member. That always helps. And any other number of ways. But those are some options. Can I just leave food emojis? Absolutely, Maggie. But especially when it's not live. I mean, the chat is always amazing here in the live shows, but I'm just putting it out there. I don't know that this is true or not. I don't know that where the information necessarily comes from, but that's what I'm hearing. So certainly I'd like the channel to continue to grow and for us to get recommended more often and to find new listeners and viewers. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Right? We're always growing anyway, although albeit the growth of the portal is very, very organic. I mean, it's literally this slope, and it's pretty much been unchanged for the duration of the show. Certainly the frequency of subscriptions goes up and down a lot as the frequency of views goes up and down a lot. Oh, T-Bone's coming in, rolling the gifts. God bless you, T-Bone. Gifted 5 Paranormal Portal memberships, and it looks like first one up is KJB, got a membership. Mike Bothwell got a membership. Great to have you. Fleur was gifted a membership. Make Believe was gifted a membership. And My Blog Sunny. Well, My Blog Sunny, she's a wonderful supporter of the shows in her own right. She has her own blog, and she always highlights the episodes. So thank you, My Blog Sunny, for that as well. And thank you, T-Bone. Thank you all for being a member. You got 30 days of free membership to the Paranormal Portal. You certainly can continue that on, if you so choose. But at the very least, thank you, T-Bone, for making that possible. That sure helps out a ton. Gotta love the memberships. It goes a long way into helping support the show and keep the lights on here. So anyway, God, what else is there? Sheldon will be along shortly as soon as he can be. So we got that going for us. He'll be here to, I'm sure, keep everything light and flowing as he always does. He's a good guy. I really like that we do this together, as a dad. It's always fun to do things with my kids. And Sheldon is actually my oldest son, in case you didn't know that. He's a spectacular person. I'm very proud of the young man he's grown into. And it's a lot of fun to have him come on the shows with me and do this. Someday the portal might just be his. If he plays his cards right, you never know. I don't know. This son can be all yours. Poor kid. Paul Haywood says, great listeners on the portal. Absolutely. We got an amazing audience. I get emails. I got a couple emails today, which were really nice. People reaching out, listening to the podcast, people, responding to episodes of the podcast and even these live shows. Like, oh, I really like your show. And it's really wonderful to hear those. So thank you so much to those of you that take time and email me directly at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. It's always great to hear from you guys because a lot of times, except on these live shows where I can see a chat and see the names come up with your, with your words and what you're sharing and putting out there. Otherwise, I just have numbers. I just see numbers pop up or down or, depending on the day. But I can't equate that to anybody other than I know somebody's out there paying attention. So it's really neat when you guys email me and reach out and tell me what's on your mind. Tell me what you think. The compliments are wonderful, but, I don't pretend these shows are absolutely perfect and can't be improved. So if you got ideas, feel free to send those as well. It doesn't mean I'm going to listen, but it's nice to get the feedback. If you talk to any of my exes, you'll know. I don't always do what I'm told, but it's nice that you take the time to offer ideas. I love that, and it's great. Yep, there we are. So, yeah, they sure are, Justin. There's no question. But I think it's gotten too far. It's gone too far. So I don't think they can do that, but they can try. Oh, the unknown says, yeah, Brent Sheldon is awesome. Great person. Absolutely. Maggie coming in. Thank you if you want to get my attention, that's the best thing. What Maggie did, you do the @ and then Paranormal Portal, and it gives me an orange box. So I'm just like, bing, I can tune right into it. Capital letters is great too. Capitalizing all your letters is great. I think the logo on the cap could be a bit bigger, and I want to buy one. Yeah, I know, I do too. And I'm just starting with this company, and I've been going back and forth on design elements and stuff. So I will recommend that, and I'll let you know when we get a bigger logo. Because you're right, it's really tiny, and with that long of a word, Paranormal Portal, it looks kind of just like, what the hell is that? So I will let you know when that gets updated, and hopefully I'll get one that I can show you guys. But yeah, I want to make it a little taller anyway, so that it's easier to read. Not so much that you can't read it because it's too tall and thin, but somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to be working with them on that. Batman says, what did I just walk in on the tail of? You're on the beginning. This is right at the nose of the episode. We haven't even had a chance to really get into anything other than me flapping my lips, but that's kind of the way it goes. Big D popped in over on the Rumble. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Kitty Cattywack came in over here. I Like Ike is here. Very cool. And I don't remember who I said was here from the participants. So unfortunately with the chat this way too, like this, it's a lot smaller, so I can't read it as well. Where the hell are my glasses? I'll try with my glasses. I was doing it without glasses, but maybe that'll help a little bit. These are actually, I'm nearsighted, so these are actually far-sighted glasses, but sometimes they do help if I have a smaller font. Happy wife, happy life. Amen, Annie. Absolutely. It's awesome that you're open to ideas. Absolutely, Jim Good. I don't pretend that I know what the hell I'm doing. If you watch the show for any length of time, as you have, you know that I don't claim to be an expert at anything. I'm not like an authority, but I love doing this. And of course, I think the biggest thing is I really am interested in giving you guys the best experience and the best show that I can. And if you have better ideas of how to present what I'm doing or new things to present, I'm all ears. I think it's great. We can make the show better together, and you can know that you are a part of it. So for whatever that's worth, I guess, it's better than being ignored, right? There's so many channels out there that just kind of do their thing, and there's a chat flying by and they hardly pay attention to it. I love talking with you guys. I love the fact that we can sit and kind of chew the fat, so to speak. Owl 13 came in. Good to see ya. Need a 350-inch monitor. Actually, the new computer has a huge monitor, and that's going to help me a ton, but it's over there. These monitors are not small. They're like 22-inch monitors, two of them right in front of me here, but they're still, I could probably crank down the resolution, or not down the resolution, but the format, so it's bigger letters. As I'm getting older, it's getting harder to read. So anyway, Brent, you are doing such a great job. Thank you, Bill Simone. You are such a fantastic guy. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill has been a guest on my podcast a couple of times now. He's a wonderful, wonderful man. Just the kindest, nicest person. And he's also so incredibly supportive of this show. So if you haven't heard Bill, check him out. He's on the podcast. He's an author of a couple of wonderful books and of his own experiences. He's been cataloging his own experiences for the past 14 years. And Bill's a wonderful guy. So thank you, Bill. You're always so incredibly supportive and wonderful. And I really appreciate it, as so many of you are. So we're going to get to the news. I'm sorry, I just keep blabbing and I'm not getting anywhere. And I know there's a bunch of people that might have bumped in the show going, Jesus, does this guy ever do a show? Yes, I do. Yes, we do. But this is part of it, because the Paranormal Portal is a community as well. So you are coming into our community that we've had for years. So I do apologize for any of the new people like, come on, get to the good stuff. It's like, this is good stuff too. It's just, you're not familiar with the community. You don't understand the dynamics, and we're happy to have you. So please stick around. And now quit giving me that. YouTube keeps saying now would be a great time to run an ad. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do that during my live streams. They do that on Twitch a lot, and I understand that's how they make a living, but I don't think you need more ads. There's plenty of ads already you guys are bumping into, so I'm not going to do it. Hey guys, let's take a commercial break now. So anyway, all right. We're going to be getting to the news. We're going to be getting to an article we've been working through for a couple shows now, and there's a lot more to do with it. We are going to be also, what is it? There was something else. I don't know. We're going to get where we get. We're going to hit the cryptids, of course, too, but We'll just have a fun time doing it. If we end up doing something completely different, that's also okay. There's no set course of each show. Each show is a living and breathing thing, and if we have side conversations, we end up on a different tangent. That's absolutely fine with me. So just feel free if you guys have got questions. Dude, we like the conversation. That's part of why we're here, says Batman. God bless you. See, is it any wonder I love you guys? You guys are so supportive. It's housekeeping, Brent. Absolutely, Maggie. You're right. You're absolutely right. Hidden Existence. Wonderful. Hidden Existence is here. Good. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. That's Daniela Aiello. I love Daniela. She's been a dear friend for a long, long time. It's great to see you. Thanks for stopping in. She and I like to catch up every once in a while when we can. I was just watching a video that somebody linked to me of one of our shows together, actually. It was like, oh, yeah. It was when Daniela and I interviewed MK Davis over on Bigfoot Odyssey. I was just watching that today. So very cool. Hi, Diane. How are you? Good to see you. Kind of like a pinball machine. That's what's like in my head. I'm telling you, Batman. There's no rhyme or reason to what goes on in here, but maybe that's why it's entertaining. I don't know. But if you want to ask me a question, again, if you write at Paranormal Portal, if you're on YouTube, it'll give me an orange box. It'll really highlight it. Otherwise, just capitalize all of the letters. That helps me to see it. But when I'm reading articles and stuff, it's kind of touch and go. So this is the appetizer. You're right, Phil. This is the appetizer. Yeah, it's like chewing on a pork rind. Sorry. I don't know. Unless you love pork rinds, then it's a good thing. But anyway, let's get to the news and find out just what the hell I've got. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I pulled it up hours ago. So thank you, Bill. Awesome people are a rare treasure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Justin, you're right. Awesome people are a rare treasure. And we've got amazing people that have come to find a home in this show. And I can't take credit for that. That's all you guys. But you guys have built this incredible community, and I'm just absolutely thrilled and honored that you've chose to do it here. So let's do the news and find out just what the hell's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. All right, the only news I trust, John says. Maggie, you're too kind. I don't know. I appreciate that you feel that way. That really means the world to me, but I know I'm just an idiot with a microphone here. So, but I just love doing it, and I love that you guys are here with me. So thank you so much. Welcome to the news desk, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Paranormal Portal news, and something happened on the ghost box. There was a weird spike there, but nothing. Oh, there's dots all around me. Jesus. Welcome, dots all around me. I see they're hanging out. Glad to have you guys here. There's 3 of them. The two orange ones should be really potent energies, according to what I understand. The yellow one, of course, is also potent, but maybe a little less so. How you doing, Mickey G? Good to have you here. Thank you. So we had three spectral dots around me. I forgot to turn on this. Let me turn on this too. That way, if they want to make the ball light up, we'll know they're here. You know what is interesting? Okay. Last show, I said, hey guys, that ball is here. I watched back the episode, and it was actually going off at the first part of the last episode. Otherwise, it's just sitting there next to the skull, right there. Otherwise, it's sitting right there. And I didn't know it. I know somebody said, do you have a ghost ball up there on the last show? And I was like, well, yes, I do, as a matter of fact. And then I pointed to it. I didn't realize that probably meant it had gone off. So, yeah, very cool. So it went off last time, but the ghost radar said I had 3 dots around me, and they hung out for, how long did they hang out? 38 seconds. That's exceptionally long, actually. Usually that doesn't happen. It's usually not quite that long. It's usually like 5-8 seconds. So that was a extended visit, I guess, in terms of spiritual energy. I don't know. But that's cool. I'm okay if the spirits want to come hang out. This is the Paranormal Portal, after all. This is kind of the right place for them, I guess. Just as long as they're not dicks. No dicks allowed, spirits. If you're a jerk, you got to go. All right, well, this is the news. I've pulled up several articles, well, 3 articles that hopefully you'll find entertaining. I'm so excited to get that new computer going. I look at the latency that's going on, even on the screen in front of me. I can see myself doing the show, and oftentimes I'm way ahead of the actual motions and stuff, and it's like, it drives me nuts. They wanted to hang out. Absolutely, Mickey. They're welcome. I mean, as long as they're good, they're benevolent, loving, kind spirits, they're welcome to be here. If they're, not, they need to get the hell out. Why don't you put ghost balls in the skulls? Well, because actually there's neither of those skulls is hollow. They're just Halloween props. They're just cheap Halloween props. But if I had an actual, anatomically correct skull, I would do just that. That would be a brilliant idea, actually. So if I ever get an anatomically correct skull that looks kind of weathered and cool, I'll put it back there. And I'll put a ghost ball in there. That way when the eyes light up, you'll be like, ooh. That'll be a good idea. Thank you for that thought. But anyway, let's get to some articles. Again, throughout the course of the show, guys, we utilize a lot of different sites. Please support these sites. These sites are exceptionally well done. They are absolutely excellent, and I love covering them. I love going through all of the amazing articles that they put together and put out there for all of us. So I definitely want to support what they're doing. I hope you guys will visit these sites. Again, I say it on every show, but obviously you're into the paranormal. This is your wheelhouse. This is what you're interested in. If you want to check out a hell of a lot more, go to these sites and start just cruising through them. You're going to find probably months and months of entertainments. Just, if you just spent time going through them, you could do it forever. But so please support these sites. Please give them your love. How the hell did that browser window close? There we go. Got to pull that up because I'm going to need it, because the first episode or the first article for the Paranormal Portal News. Pause for loading screens. Ugh, Jesus. Someday my ship will come in. It's already in. It's just sitting on that table, not ready. I tried today. I really tried today to get it done. I really am so excited to do a show and not have to wait for shit to pop up. Sorry for the language, but you got to understand. This has been going on for way too long. And like I said, I've got another computer. It's going to be ready hopefully for tomorrow, but it wasn't quite ready for tonight. But you know what is good? We got a little visitor here today. And I don't mean me. I don't mean my many personalities, but I mean my eldest son, Mr. Sheldon Thomas. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Good to be here. Good to see everyone in. Ah, man, I'm feeling good. It's a Friday. Good news as well.
Oh,
just weighed myself today, and I am down 5 pounds.
Woo! I'm so proud of you. Good job, buddy.
I am on the path. I have. It has been hard. I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those people, but it took a while to get rid of pop out of my diet, but it is completely gone. No more sugar. I am dropping 5 pounds in 1 week.
5 pounds in 1 week, dude. That's outstanding.
Yes.
That is outstanding, my boy. Good job. Well done.
Yep. It's been replaced. This is not a sponsor, but it's been replaced by Zevia.
Oh, really?
Yep. It uses Stevia kind of sugar, and it's
it's not sativa. It's stevia.
Stevia.
Sativa is like pot.
Oh.
So I can see that causing weight gain, actually, if it was sativa.
No. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I love those cookies. I don't know why.
Yeah, so it's we're doing really good today. I'm feeling more energetic ever since getting rid of it. I'm feeling like I got more energy.
Yeah.
Just more uplifting, not as like groggy feeling. Like I'm feeling great, honestly.
Well, I'm proud of you. Good job. Well done. I'm trying to do the same because I lost a bunch of weight and then I gained about 25 pounds again. So I'm working back down. I'm working back down. So
yeah,
but yeah, there we go. So yeah,
it's a journey.
Yeah, definitely don't replace it with sativa. I mean, you know, I'm not saying that's a horrible thing, but I'm just saying maybe not for weight loss.
Yeah, you're right.
The munchies will get you. Sorry. All right. Well, you know what? You're just in time too, Sheldon, because what the hell happened? Oh, there you are. You disappeared.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was a preview. I'm actually rotating myself. Okay, cool.
Okay. Well, you're just in time for the start of the news, actually. So you haven't missed anything.
Perfect. Wow. What have you been doing for the past half an hour?
Well, the first 10, 12 minutes, I was trying to troubleshoot something. So I had to start the stream a little late because the new computer's there. It's not yet here. And I just have these weird tech issues come up with this old computer for multi-streaming. And so the new one's maybe going to be ready by tomorrow. I tried for today, but what is that? Stop, don't talk? Or,
no, I'm trying to.
I know.
It
was a
fuzzy,
joke.
So I'm trying to. Oh, okay.
But no, I knew what you were doing.
Okay. Trying to fix it.
All right. Well, let's get to the news. I got an article here. That's so distracting.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix it.
Stop in the name of love. All right. Anyway, sorry. It's like, what? There's a big hand in my screen.
Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand, yeah. All right, well, here's the news. The first article's coming from an amazing site, unexplained-mysteries.com, and this is having to do with the UFO phenomena of all things, Sheldon. Roll up my sleeves for this, I'm just saying. Let's check it out. The UFO phenomena. I should probably put it up on screen first. Got a little ahead of myself. Just a little bit ahead of myself here. All right. Apple to release new movie themed around UFO disclosure. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Apple is about to release a new movie proving the existence of UFOs. I'm in. But it's like everybody's cashing in on this now. And it's okay. It's raising awareness, and that's good. But like everybody and their brother is doing a UFO show now. It's like, okay, another one. All right. But let's see what it says. UFO disclosure has become such a hot topic in recent years that the plot of a new thriller is being centered around it. New thriller. Hopefully. It seems that UFO-related movies and documentaries are all the rage at the moment, with the much-anticipated Age of Disclosure due for release later this year and Steven Spielberg's upcoming Alien movie currently in full production. Now, another contender has entered the ring in the form of an untitled thriller movie that will focus heavily on the topic of UFO or UAP disclosure. The project, which has been officially acquired by Apple, will be written by the Academy Award nominee Zach Balan, who produced the Joseph Kosinski, produced by Joseph Kosinski, and Jerry Bruckheimer, who previously worked together on Top Gun Maverick. While we don't know anything specific about the plot, it's interesting how much interest there now seems to be in the UFOs following highly publicized U.S. congressional hearings on the subject and publishing of the testimonies of military and intelligence community whistleblowers. The release of UAP footage recorded by U.S. military a few years back has also helped to bring UFOs back into the mainstream. The fact that big studios are spending millions making movies about aliens and UFO disclosure emphasizes the level of appetite audiences still seem to have for the subject. Hopefully we'll hear more specifics about Apple's new movie in the near future. Well, there you go. I don't know. It's can't hurt, right?
I mean, hey, more awareness is good awareness,
That's true. That is true. All right. Well, there you go. That's the first bit of news.
We're not all crazy, okay? It's becoming mainstream.
We're not all cray. Nope.
Yeah.
We're not. I've seen them. You've seen them actually, right?
I've seen one, yes.
Yeah, but that counts. One still counts.
But I'm saying, as far as the public goes, we could be crazy, but we're not. That's the thing.
Well, I don't know. I think everybody's crazy a little bit, so that's okay.
I'm the only sane one in the world.
Yeah, it's definitely all you. It's all you, Sheldon. You keep it together for the rest of us, will you?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get to the next article in the news and find out what the hell this is, because I don't even remember. Here we go. It's going to come from Unexplained-Mysteries as well, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm a little stuffy. Got to get my chats up. I don't like... I've got extra chat window now with the YouTube one that I got to keep pulling up as well. There we go. Now they're all up so I can see. All right, here we go. This one comes from Creatures, Myths, and Legends. I think this is a bunch of crap, personally. I did see the screenshot of the image, and it's just those damn cutouts. But anyway, yeah, it's so easy to see that it's just one of those yard cutouts that people have, the silhouetted Bigfoot stride,
Oh, really?
I think they're cool. They're fine, but don't try to sell it as an actual event. All right, here we go. Bigfoot photobombs National Weather Service report in Pennsylvania. There it is. Do you see it back there?
It's coming up. It's coming up. And lame.
And lame. I mean, you can tell that's such an iconic pose. Anybody that's been at this for a while, it's like, oh, the Bigfoot cutout pose. Yeah, oh, the Bigfoot cutout. And a lot of people have been trying to sell this as actual evidence. Ooh, I was driving around and I saw this Bigfoot in the forest. And it's like, yeah, well, when you stopped and took the picture, if it just stayed there in that walking pose, that's not real.
Come on.
I don't know. But again, I haven't read the article, so maybe it's tongue-in-cheek. Let's check it out. An unexpected figure was spotted during a recent report into severe weather damage in Fayette County. Bigfoot seems to show up in the most unexpected places, as evidenced recently by the creature's uninvited appearance in a National Weather Service report in Pennsylvania. The report, which focused on a Fayette County neighborhood where the storm damage had caused a tree to fall down in a residential backyard, also seemed to include an unexpected extra. See above. While the falling tree was clearly visible in the foreground, eagle-eyed viewers were quick to spot the unmistakable silhouette of a Sasquatch lurking in the woods in the background.
Oh my God. I don't think they were being tongue-in-cheek about it.
How did they ever see that? All right. What's more, it seems to be keeping a close eye on a man cleaning up leaves in the nearby yard. No, this isn't tongue-in-cheek at all. Not all was as it seemed, however. It was later revealed that the Bigfoot was, in fact, likely little more than a garden decoration.
Yeah.
There it is. Something that is apparently not uncommon in the state. Pennsylvania has certainly seen its fair share of Bigfoot sightings over the years and is still considered to be one of the best places to go for those seeking evidence of cryptozoological bipeds. The particular example, though, is definitely not the real deal. I saw that instantly. Went, oh, yard decoration. I mean, instantly. I know all of you did too. I know you guys did.
I really hope this news outlet, not Unexplained-Mysteries, but like wherever this came from, I hope they weren't trying to be all serious about it.
Well, I think, here's the thing. I know everybody's looking for ratings. And so, coming up, we got a Bigfoot report in Pennsylvania. Tune in. And then this is it. Yeah. And so they're everybody's trying to get attention. And it's just the same thing as like every paranormal video on YouTube is demon in my closet, and like,
God,
it's the same kind of thing. It's like, whatever, not everything's a demon, whatever. But it's just that whole sentiment of everything having to be sensational and just to get attention. And it's unfortunate that that's what it's come to, but everybody's competing for some notice. Like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing something. And, so they oversell it. And so I don't know. I mean, this was just a photograph of somebody with a branch over their fence and some guy out there cleaning up debris. and then a Bigfoot silhouette in the backyard. But anyway, I don't know, Sheldon. What do you think?
I mean, it's probably. I'm thinking what the case is the guy whose yard that is a fan of the idea or believer of Bigfoot, and so they have like this cardboard, kind of playful image of Bigfoot, and then the news outlet did a clickbaity thing, kind of like what you're saying after that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It's all right. I don't think this was intentional by the people involved, by the people that actually live there, but I just think, this was obviously eagle-eyed viewers were quickly able to see. It's like, just sell it.
God. It is cool though. Like I've noticed like people hanging up Bigfoot silhouette cutouts like that. Even in Maplewood, Minnesota, there's a guy that has them dressed up in Vikings attire and all that. It's actually
cool. Well, I mean, I love that. I love that the acceptance and even enthusiasm for the topic has grown quite a bit. It's like you're hard pressed not to drive anywhere and not see some kind of Bigfoot bumper sticker on somebody's truck or car or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying they're everywhere, but they're pretty common now, whereas before you never would have seen that. So I think that's cool. I think, again, it's at least people are more interested now than they were, which is good, because when people are interested, then it helps those that are, I guess, willing to invest time and energy, and more people to invest time and energy into substantiating this, But anyway, very cool. Snapping plastic. How you doing, Grandizer? Good to see you came in. Nathan from Quantum Show is here. Good to see you, Nate. Welcome. Bogart is here. Wizard Moon. Good to see you guys. Renee Cruz popped in. Renee, you were late. I don't know what's going on, but I expect to see a hall pass when you come in this late. Just kidding. All right. Well, I got one more article and we can move on with the rest of the show. Are you ready for that?
Well, Grandad said, Brent, Sheldon, I get a lot of hate for that. Even I said, like Lyle Blackburn said, with so many people claiming they seen Crypted, yet none of them have any evidence. And I mean those who overhype it / try to push their agenda.
Oh, sure. What do you mean? What do you get a hard time about, though? Those who overhype it and try to push their agenda. I get a lot of hate for that. I'm just scrolling up to see for what, though. I don't understand, Grandizer. You get a lot of hate for what?
Yeah, I'm curious too.
I mean, the big takeaway is that no matter what, nobody really knows anything for sure. We just have very little in the form of evidence, even anecdotal evidence. It's people that experienced it. Those are still, in my opinion, the most valuable evidences we have. Certainly footprints evidence and other physical evidence is wonderful, but the biggest insight into this phenomena we have is from the people that were there and saw them and can tell what happened during their encounters. I think that remains one of the most valuable things, because at least we can put some behavior and maybe even get into the mind of these beings a little bit. Understand what could they be thinking, could they be doing, why were they there, just to examine a lot of it. And I always equate it to like a FBI profiler. They have to look at behavior patterns and try to extrapolate, patterns and things that can help investigators move in on whoever the bastard is that's hurting people, And so much in the same way, we have these little, pieces of evidence from people that have witnessed them, and we try to put it together and form an idea of what's going on in this phenomena. So we don't know anything.
I get a hard time because people will say you were not there, yet they claim they see multiple encounters.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible.
It's hard though, because usually when you see these things, it's not like it's a planned thing.
Right.
And even from my own experience, like, yeah, believe me, my one UFO sighting, I wish I had the mental aptitude to actually take a picture or like flip up my phone. I was just so in shock
Yeah.
over what I was seeing. It didn't even occur to me.
Sure.
So, I mean, I understand, like, when you've had multiple encounters, like, I can understand the perspective. Maybe you might be saying, like, well, at some point during that third one, shouldn't that pop in? But it's the only thing I could think of is maybe, like, they're not planned encounters. It's not like you can really prepare yourself, like, okay, today's the day, I'm going to get I'm going to get ready. And it's just usually like, oh my God, I'm seeing this,
Yeah.
It's just flabbergasting to your mind, I guess.
And I don't know if you ever get used to seeing them, even if you've had multiple sightings. It's like, whatever these things are, they're just larger than life, It's
Yeah.
I can't imagine the first sighting. I think I was close to one and heard one right behind me, and that was horrifying, absolutely horrifying. Still remains one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
And he's right. The freeze response, like kind of the deer in the headlights thing. You're processing what you're at, that you're actually seeing it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's not a logic thing anymore. It's like I'm in shock right now over what my eyes are laying. And I don't blame people. I don't blame people saying, yeah, okay, sure you did. It's like I did, but I don't. I don't have any video. I get it. Sure, you can call. You can say it. I didn't see it, but.
Well, yeah, that's true. It is hard to substantiate, and in most cases, almost 99.9% of cases, it's like people don't leave these encounters with any kind of evidence that they can show. You can relay a story, you can relay an experience, and hopefully people think you're being sincere. I guess I've been very fortunate, at least to my face, that nobody's gone, yeah, right. Yeah, that's what you saw. Sure. I was fully expecting it. That's why I never shared that stuff for a long time doing the show. It was like, well, how convenient is that? I have a show, and of course I got a bunch of experiences. It's like, kind of the orgy of evidence kind of thing. It's like, well, yeah, obviously I'm an expert. Well, no, I don't think there is anybody that is. But, yeah, it's tough. Unless you've seen it, it's hard to impress upon somebody that's not been in the situation, what that feels like and how, like, I just got growled at, like I said, and for me, I was sure that I was moments away from being killed. I was sure that whatever was making that sound was about to tear me and my friend apart. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even have a concept for it being a Bigfoot at the time. I knew what Bigfoot was, but it wasn't something in my area that I knew about. So I just didn't know what it was, but I knew it was big and pissed, and it terrified me. But it was so overpowering that I could have physically turned around to see what that was, but I didn't dare. It was like I didn't want to do anything to provoke that impending death that I was sure was coming, and I didn't want to see what that looked like as it came to kill me either. It's like, boy, that's not the last thing I want to see.
Yeah. Well, your experience, especially, I think your experience is pretty understandable. The absolute fear response, for me, it wasn't even a fear response. It was just like, my mind is freaking blown right now.
Yeah.
But Grandma said, right, Sheldon, totally get that. The first or second time, yes, in shock. But when some say after the third that they talk to them and no evidence, I don't know about all that. And like I said, I do understand that perspective of like, sure, it's hard because I do understand the perspective, but then I do agree with Dad too, where I don't know how can you get used to that though?
Yeah.
Like even like driving a car, that takes hours to get used to, and you're talking like these minutes of experience, seconds sometimes.
But he's right. There are people making these extraordinary claims, and I do agree that if you're going to make claims that you are, making s'mores with gray aliens, you probably should be able to substantiate that. You should probably, if you're going to make that big of a claim, then you can't really admonish anybody that doesn't want to get on board with you. And
well, you're talking big claims like that, sure.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what he's talking about too. He's talking about, people claiming to have conversations and basically picnics with these things. It's like, and we put out the blanket and he made sandwiches. I mean, if you're going to make claims that big, then you've got to understand that the average person isn't going to jump on that. They just can't, because it's so foreign a concept. Now, I'm not saying that you couldn't be right. Hell, I don't know, anything's possible, but just understand, if people aren't on board with that, that makes perfect sense, that they're not going to be right out of the gate, that, these fantastic claims require fantastic evidence, I think. If you want people to truly subscribe and believe. There's some people that'll believe you right off the get-go, and that's fine, to each their own. I'm not chastising that. I just think it does, these fields are a lot of times lacking in just critical thinking, because there are a lot of people making BS claims and saying that things happen that I just can't get behind. And it sucks because I feel like a dick saying that, but I'm just a human being. We all have a paradigm. We all have a belief system. And if you're bringing me something so fantastic and so out of this world, just a claim that's so larger than life, then I need you to bring me there. Show me something that really gets behind what you're saying. Otherwise, please understand that I'm probably going to roll my eyes, at least mentally. It's a tough place. It's a tough place to get to. And, I do, if it is indeed a true story, I commend those people for being willing to come out and share it. And I'm not saying that there couldn't possibly be merit for it, but you do have to understand that not everybody can get there. Not everybody can get there, and that's okay. And some people will go there with you right away. They don't even need evidence. They just need to believe, and they do. So that's it. But that's my take on it, for whatever it's worth. Critical thinking. Yes, Barbara.
Owl says, like that one guy in Ontario, can't remember his name. Yeah. He's talking Bigfoot saying, "I love you."
Yeah.
I love you.
And it's like a sucking in voice, like,
oh, nieti.
When you suck in and you talk, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's what the conversations are like. He's like, "Oh, it's good to see you tonight."
Oh, yeah.
Are you serious?
It's like that. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. But, we're stretching my belief there.
It is. It's a strain. It's a strain to get there. I mean, I would love for it to be true. Don't get me wrong. I would love for that to be true, that he was able to form a relationship with this Sasquatch and to be able to have an exchange of emotion and idea. That to me is amazing. Yeah. But you can't suck in, talk on a microphone and expect me to just, I'm in. It's gonna take more than that. And I feel like a dick saying that out loud. I usually keep that kind of stuff to myself. But again, you have to realize not everybody's starting out in the same place. We've all got a different worldview and a different body of experiences. And I can't get all the way to letter Z yet. I got to go through, A, B, C, and then maybe I'll get to Z someday, but I'm not there yet. So I don't know.
No.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo. Yeah, Scoob. Amen. All right. Well, just a few random thoughts, folks. But, and again, I don't mean to offend anybody and to take away potential for those things to be possible. I'm just saying I'm still not quite there. And it's, like I said, I'd love for it all to be true. That'd be fantastic that, you could get together and knit quilts with Sasquatch. That'd be amazing. But I'm not there yet. So,
yeah.
All right. There was no question about my ghosts. The two Bigfoot, I don't know. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think most everybody can relate to ghost stories, though, because I think those are probably the most common type of paranormal experiences people have. I think that comes up way more consistently for everybody. Like either you've had one yourself or you know somebody that has, and it's not unusual. And I can't say the same is true for people seeing UFOs or people having an encounter with Sasquatch or Dogman or any of the other body of possibilities. So yeah, but I think most everybody can relate to the fact that ghosts happen. Even in ancient history, like every culture has some reference to spirits and ghosts. And so this is as old as time, as old as civilization, that people have claimed to be visited by ghosts. So, yep. So, oh yeah, Mike Patterson is the name. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm not trying to cast aspersions, but it's a fantastic claim, and you should really have fantastic evidence to substantiate that if you want to put it out there and have people believe you on the basis of your stories.
I mean, see, if you're calm enough to have a conversation, like it's not a shocking thing.
Yeah.
At that point, why do you not have that? At that point, I am absolutely on Grandizer's side. Like, okay, you're calm enough to have a conversation, have these wonderful experiences. Why no evidence then?
Yeah, or very little, or very subjective evidence.
Yes.
To the person they're claiming this is it, rock solid evidence. Natiri. I forget the name of the Bigfoot. It's like Natiri, I think is what he says. But if that's real, okay, well, give us something to work with. We're not all there. So anyway, this is one last news article that we've kind of belabored, but that's what I love about this show. We don't have to stick on a track. If we go off onto side discussions like this, that's perfectly fine. I think that's great.
I love them.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. All right, well, the last article is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. This is a mystery of Scottish UFO hotspot. The Bonnie Bridge continues to endure. Seems like one I've already read, but maybe I haven't. Let's read it again if I have. You never know. There might be a test. You're going to appreciate the review if I did. All right. For years, the small town of Bonnybridge in Scotland has become synonymous with the sightings for unidentified flying objects. Suck in air every once in a while, Brent. All right. Since the 1990s, a town which is situated about 4 miles west of Falkirk has seen a disproportionately large number of UFO sightings, and nobody can explain why. The earliest sighting was reported in 1992 by local businessman James Walker, who had been driving between Falkirk and Bonnybridge when he was stopped by a mysterious, luminous, star-shaped object that was hovering in the middle of the road. The encounter ended when the object flew off at incredible speed. In the months and years that followed, hundreds of UFO sightings were reported in the region, including accounts of alien abductions and people being buzzed by strange objects in their cars. Even today, decades later, people are still seeing things in the skies over the area. Now, two prominent Scottish UFO and paranormal researchers, Ron Halliday and Malcolm Robinson, have published a new book about the Bonnybridge UFO phenomena. Malcolm and I were both heavily involved in the investigation of many UFO reports that plagued the village of Bonnybridge and earned it a global reputation as a UFO hotspot, said Halliday. We have co-authored this book to give our account of what really happened in Bonnybridge, including interviews with those who witnessed the strange events that took place. Look at that thing, dude. I'm just sorry. I got sidetracked by Temu, but I love the idea of having a robot doing some shoveling. That to me is a little slice of heaven.
That is beautiful. Yeah,
that would be
beautiful.
Freaking lovely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it would just do it by itself. Like, oh, there's snow, hit the button, and it goes out and does it. Anyway, sorry. Back to the article. I told you guys, it's random in here. You can find the book here. It's the Bonnybridge UFO Enigma, a modern-day mystery. Back in January of 2023, a short documentary, The Bonnybridge Files, the town with the most UFO sightings in the world, was released, which explores the phenomena in some detail. It features an interview with local councillor Billy Buchanan, who had spent years petitioning the government to conduct a proper investigation into the mystery. Since this first happened in 1992, I've went down to London to every prime minister that's been in since that period of time, asking them to do an investigation into the Bonnie Bridge phenomena, he said. And when the Scottish Parliament was set up, I went to the Scottish Parliament in the same and asked them to investigate what was happening in the Bonnie Bridge area. The full documentary is available to watch below. I'll put a link, folks, and you can go watch this documentary. That's amazing. Excellent. I never even heard of that, but that's phenomenal. So the link is in YouTube, and I'm putting it in Rumble. I'm sorry if I can't put it in all of the chats, but it'll be on screen. But it again, it's unexplained-mysteries.com/news, and it's mystery of Scottish UFO hotspot Bonnie Bridge continues to endure. So I'm sure you can find the article if you look in the UFO files over on unexplained-mysteries. But very cool. You can check out the whole documentary for yourselves. That's fantastic. Yeah. I'm going to have to save this article. I'm going to save it because I'm going to try to watch this one. Bookmark. Where's bookmark? There it is. Bookmark this tab. There we go. Done. Okay. Perfect. How's that, Sheldon?
Beautiful.
It's freaking beautiful.
Yes.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, this is going to wrap up the news for today. Supernatural Station podcast. That must be Jaron. How you doing, buddy? It's both myself
welcome
and
in.
Rome this time. Oh, it's both of them.
Oh,
Well, welcome, gentlemen.
hey, guys.
Outstanding. It's good to have you here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in, guys. If you guys haven't checked out Supernatural Station podcast, you should. It's available on all of the podcasting platforms, so hardly any reason.
Absolutely.
No excuses. So refreshing.
Awesome, guys.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the news. Let's get back to the rest of the show. Are you ready, Sheldon?
Always.
This has been the news. Yeah, me too, Big D. Me too, brother. Big D says, he said, I was thinking about Kev Baker and Naysay. I miss Freaky Friday before, Brent. His woo in the Wookiee. Yeah, I miss him too. I miss that. Every once in a while I have Naysay on here on the show with me, but I got to tell you, I got a message from Pearl, Kev's mom, and it was such a sweet message. You know, Kev was a dear friend, and he was a mentor in a lot of ways to me as I was coming up. I started on the same network as he did, and you know, his show, I used to follow his show. His show would be on, and then my show would be on. And I learned a lot from Kev. He was a wonderful, amazing guy, and he really did a lot to push the narrative and to just, and he loved doing it. He loved doing it. He loved these discussions. He loved talking about ideas, and just an amazing guy. And, you know, it's been a real pain, you know, inside knowing that he's no longer here doing it, but it was so sweet to get a message from Pearl, and she said, you know, he'd be so proud. And I was like, I couldn't help but get tear in my eyes. Like, you know, because there's, everybody has that. There's some people that really were so formative in, you know, in what you do in your life. And, you know, it might be a parent, it might be a relative, it might be a friend or whatever. But, you know, I was very fortunate to know Kev and to be part of his journey, and he made me a part of his journey. And I, of course, had him on the portal. We did every Friday the 13th, we would do a marathon. It would be 3 hours of Kev's show, and I'd be on there. And then he'd come over with, you know, it would be like Naysay and Scotty, and they'd come over to the portal, and we'd do 2 hours of that. So it was like 5 hours of woo, as Kev would always say, and it was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun, just a neat community and a wonderful friend. And I sure hope he's proud of us as we're trying to continue to carry the torch as best as we can. But he's definitely one of those guys that left a big footprint, you know. And another one, of course, is Kerry Arnold, who is another wonderful guy, and I did a lot of guest hosting on there with Daniela, and I miss him a lot. It's just, you know, he was just larger than life. Both those guys were larger than life, and it was an honor to know them both. So, very cool. But
That's beautiful.
lots of love to Kev's family that continues on. We always will love you, and I don't know, just sending our love and prayers, and that everything is going okay across the pond. So, but yeah, very true, very true. All right, we've got more to get to. In the spirit of the woo, we're going to continue because
All right.
all right, there's more woo, woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, see what I did there? Did you see
More
that?
woohoo.
More woohoo. All right. I should try to position this so it's a little more on. No, not that one. This one. Just so it's a little more on screen. I want to, because I've got the ghost ball set up down behind me next to
yeah.
the skull. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite on either. I'm going to kind of merge myself into your space a little bit, but I'll even it out in a second here. I think that should show
You
it.
can shrink me. You can. I let you have my space. You can have some of my space.
No,
It's okay.
I'll move you a little bit.
But you have to.
I've got to take off some of your northern lights again, though. Wes might be out there watching the northern lights, but I'd like to see more of you and less of the lights. So that way,
I love my northern lights.
I like them too. Don't get me wrong, but I'd rather see more of you.
I've been nerfed. Oh, man.
You haven't been nerfed. You've just been adjusted. I adjusted you a little bit. There we go.
Yeah.
There, I shrinked one side and expanded another. So if, like, I have the ghost ball, it's right here, Sheldon, just so you know. Right there. So,
Catching up. I'll see you in a second.
yeah, it's flashing by the skull there. And I put it up and it hasn't gone off, but I went back and watched the last show.
Wow, it's sensitive. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't, you just got to just tap it and it'll go. But it did go off last show. And I thought that was cool. So we'll see if anything happens tonight. If there's any spirits still hanging out that want to let us know they're here, please make the ball light up. That would be cool.
Make sure you're not inviting. How much permission are you giving over there?
I've already said that no, if they're dicks, they can't be here. They got to be love and benevolent and kind and caring. That's the
Okay. All
that's
right.
the metric for admission here in the portal and in this house. So, and I cleanse regularly anyway. So,
Yeah.
just in case, you got to get out the shop vac and get rid of some. Yep. But we're going to get to an article I've been working my way through for a few shows now, a couple anyway. But it's, I think it's Thought Catalog. Let's see. Yep, it's Thought Catalog. And this is Tales of the Paranormal to read if you don't want to go to sleep tonight. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to stay up. So don't,
Hey. Yeah, why not?
don't have any hankering for some sleep, ladies and gentlemen. We're on number 17, but I just wanted to bring it up. This is it. So it's 49 deeply creepy tales of the paranormal. Let me do this. Tales of the Paranormal to read if you don't want to sleep tonight. And this was written by Eric Redding, Redding. And it was last updated in 2022. So it's a few years old. But the beauty of paranormal stories is they're always good. They can be centuries old and they're still amazing. So they are timeless in that regard. So here we go. We're on number 17, The Unexpected Helper, or An Unexpected Helper. So this one sounds kind of good, right, Sheldon? God,
That looks great. Yeah.
You got way too much northern lights on your head over here, too.
No, not too
Yes,
much.
you do.
Honestly, not enough.
It's not like cowbell. Like, hey, I need more cowbell.
It is.
There. Now you're more in frame. It's like, yeah, the northern lights are
Got
pretty.
nerfed.
You didn't get nerfed. You just got adjusted. All right, here we go. An Unexpected Helper. My mom grew up in a rural part of Guatemala where witchcraft was a real thing, and has so many stories of the weird crap she and her brothers and sisters experienced there. Of all the stories she tells, the creepiest one deals with a young apprentice to a witch doctor who traveled around the country healing people. Well, he was murdered in western Guatemala City, and they had arranged to bring his body back to be buried there. Well, they paid bottom dollar to have some poor bastard go pick up the body and bring it back in his pickup truck. Well, the guy gets there, loads the coffin on his truck, and starts heading back. But his truck breaks down on the way. He gets out and frantically tries to get the truck back on the road, as he has to be back in time for the services to start. He's completely alone in the dark hours of the early morning, and a man in a nice suit comes from out of nowhere to help him out. Well, the man gets his truck back in working order and walks back down the road into the darkness. Well, the guy gets the body back in time, and after some prep, they begin the services. He happens to walk by the coffin to pay his respects and sees that the dead man in the coffin is the very same man who helped him with his truck. To this day, I get shivers thinking about it. Ooh, he did not want to be late for his own funeral.
Wow.
How's that for a little spooky?
I think about that once in a while.
Yeah?
You know, like sometimes, you'll just kind of talk to a random person, just like a little quick conversation, maybe at the grocery store or wherever it is. And sometimes I think, like, I wonder how many people in my lifetime who were spirits without even realizing.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe you have a story that's kind of like that, actually. I think you've talked about it on the show, though.
I'm trying to remember which story.
the guy who talked about the stars and the line.
Oh, yeah, but I think he was like an angel. I think that was like an angelic experience, because it was just so, I mean, it could have been, I guess, just a person who'd passed, but it was just the depth of his knowledge. I mean, he was a homeless guy, and I let him stay in, when I was supposed to kick him. I worked for a security company. Just to recap the story, I worked for a security company in downtown Minneapolis area. Actually, it was in the Franklin Avenue area by 94, which is a real rough area. And I was this solitary, alone security guard guarding a parking ramp in a low-income housing unit. I didn't have a radio. I didn't have anything except for a 5-cell like mag light that I went and bought just so I'd have something in case I was going to die. But I managed to do just fine there. But we had got notifications as it was heading into a really cold snap of the winter. And they said, look, you got to be ready, because homeless people are probably going to be kind of trying to come in and hang out in the lobbies to stay warm, and you can't let them do that. And I'm like, oh God, oh really? And it was like a 20 below night, and I'm out and I'm frozen, and I've dressed for the weather, and I can sit in my car and run the heater and stuff, and then do the rounds and such. But I'm doing the rounds on this 20 below night. The wind is just howling. And I come across this guy. It looks like Santa Claus. I mean, honest to God, except if Santa Claus was homeless. That's what the guy looked like. He just had these really sparkling eyes and this puffy white beard. But he was in there with no jacket. He had a sweatshirt on, some tattered pants, and socks. He didn't even have shoes. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way in hell I can kick this guy out. There's no way I can say, hey, loser, time to take off. This is not for you. It's like, what, I couldn't have humanity and send this guy out into what could possibly be his death. So I'm like, I sat and talked to him, and I said, I've been told that I can't let you stay here, but I said, there's no way in hell I'm asking you to leave. So what I want you to do is you stay here and stay warm for as long as you want, as long as you need to. But if people come, I've got to act like I'm kicking you out. So follow along, because I'm working the overnight shift. So people are coming through, but they're going up and going to bed. People aren't hanging out. But I'm like, act like I'm kicking you out and walk around the corner and just wait. And then when the coast is clear, you can come back. And we did this cat and mouse thing all night. But then, and then my shift ended, and he left when it got a little warmer in the morning, and then I left. And well, he ended up coming back over a period of like 2 weeks. And I forget his name even now. I wish I could remember it. But he took me outside, and this is, again, he looks like Santa Claus. But one of the nice things is some of the tenants that live there, they saw him in there, and I was acting like I was going to kick him out, and they're like, no, he's got to stay here. We got to help him. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's fine if you're okay with it. And they would go up and get clothing items and stuff. So he had a jacket soon, and he had shoes, and people really did show up for this guy, which is beautiful. But then he took me outside one night and was pointing at the stars, and he knew all of the constellations, and he was telling me stories about the constellations and the history and even the Greek legends for a lot of these stories. And I was like, wow. And he had the most beautiful blue sparkling eyes, and I remember that. And he was always just happy. And even though he was living in this state, I was like, wow. And so, he was very warm and friendly. I was very warm and friendly with him, and we just kept going. And then it was a couple weeks later, then it was about 3:30 or 4 in the morning. It's not dark in that area because there's lots of street lights and stuff. But he's like, well, he said, I've got to be moving along now. And I'm like, oh. I said, well, where are you going? He said, well, just got to move on. I'm like, oh, okay, well, take care of yourself. I don't know what to say, but I'm like, I was going to miss him because he had become this great companion and company at night. And so he's like, we said our goodbyes and stuff, and he walked on, and he was walking into the distance. It was a straight shot. And the street lights going down, and I could see him. He was about a half a block away, and then it was like almost a full block away. And suddenly a snapping sound happened to my left. So I'm looking to my right and watching him walk away, and a snapping sound happened. I looked over this way, and by the time I looked back, he was gone. And I never saw him again. I never saw that man again. Wow. So it was just like, where did he go? Because he was
basically within a few seconds, just boom, gone.
Not even. It was just like in a heartbeat he was gone. It was just the amount of time it took me to look to my left to see what that snap was, and then to look back, he wasn't there. And this is like an 80-year-old man, but he was just disappeared. Yeah. So, true story. That was my story, and it was.
How old were you at that point in time? I actually don't know.
I was 18. I was an 18-year-old kid
wow.
from rural Minnesota, in a small town Minnesota, and I moved up to the cities, and here I was guarding a parking ramp in downtown, or in the low income area of Minneapolis with a flashlight and no help.
Now at that age though. Well, back then, what was your thought? What was your initial thought of boom, he's gone? Was it later that you thought it was more supernatural, or even then were you like, oh, okay, that's wait, what?
Well, no, as soon as he wasn't there, I was like, oh my God, what just happened? And it just, because he was already a really enigmatic figure. He was so kind and warm, so full of knowledge, just to point to the stars and, well, this is this constellation, and this is this, and it's named because of this, and it's based on the Greek myth, the legend, and he told me all this stuff, and it was like, wow, this guy knows so much. Wow. So I really felt bad, because I thought, well, how does he have such a robust knowledge, and yet he ended up in this state, but he's so kind and so warm. So it was just a really neat experience. But then when he was gone, it was just like. I'm an 18-year-old me, and I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? What has this been? So, I think he was an angel, though. I think he might have been.
The Supernatural Station podcast says maybe you needed that moment. Maybe he was there for you.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's any number of possibilities, right? But maybe.
Yeah.
but it's a true story.
Maggie asks, why do you think a lot of these stories are so similar? Any theories?
I don't know. I that's hard to say.
So I've heard of those kind of stories before too. Like, talk to someone, you turn around, boom, they're gone. Like it is. I understand where she's coming from. It is kind of similar in that sense.
Well, I think if anything, it just shows us that we're being demonstrated that we're in a reality that we don't understand fully. That we are a part of this reality, but we are not the scope and breadth of this reality. We exist. Our awareness is part of this reality that we live in, but these things happen and they demonstrate that there's so much more. There's so much more we don't understand. And we got to keep looking. We got to keep searching for answers, because I think this is probably part of our growth, in some sense.
Oh, Maggie said, sorry, maybe that wasn't clear. I meant a protective thing, similarities. Oh, like guardian angels type of thing? Is that what you're saying, Maggie?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it just, because I felt protective of him. Like that was initially how it's like I could not reconcile making this guy go out in the cold. I just couldn't do that, and I couldn't fathom anybody getting to that place. It's like, how do you do that? You could send somebody out, and that would be to their death. I mean, potentially, and especially the guy had socks, for God's sakes.
Oh yeah,
just socks. And it's 20
That's like
below.
Frostbite. That is frostbite.
Yeah, you're losing things at that point. There's no question. Yeah. I couldn't do that. There's no way. So.
Or by helping one way or the other.
Yeah.
I see. So I guess in both scenarios, the protective scenarios of that, you helping them, they helping you.
Yeah.
Why are they so simple? Yeah.
It's anybody's guess, really. I don't know. I don't know. I think it was a very personal experience. It was something that I was supposed to experience. But I don't know. What is that? What does Annie say in the Bible? You never know who the angel is. Yeah. But I mean, when he disappeared, that's when I was like, oh,
he was the angel.
I had the donut face.
So. Yowie Central's right. You, in a sense, if it is true, they were an angel. You were an angel's bodyguard for a little bit.
Yeah, well, let's hope that if that is an angel, they're still taking good care. They must be, because I don't know how I've made it this far in life, honestly. For a number of reasons, I've had a lot of close calls with almost not being here. So maybe that was him. But that was nice of him. If that's the case, I'm glad we can take care of each other. So anyway.
Could it be someone, Rachel, I'm sorry. Rachel says, could it be someone who wanted to meet you in person, who has known you through your life from the beginning to your future, wants, quote, want to meet Brent in person today, type of thing?
Well, I've got that trouble all the time, people trying to meet me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's hard to know, right? It's anything could be true or not true. I don't know. I don't understand. I think it's like trying to understand the mind of God. Can we ever really do that? No. But I'm sure. I mean, there was plenty of value in that experience for me. First of all, it was like, I was challenged. I either had to do what my job said or I had to do what was right. And I'm glad that I chose what was right. I think it was a kind of a line in the sand that I had to decide what my course was going to be as a human being. And it's the first time I've ever been told something knowing that it wasn't the right thing. And I'm glad that I made the choice that I made, because I think compassion is always so important. And it's easy to do what you're told, and it's an easy excuse. It's not easy to go against that. And I'm glad that I did. Not knowing, obviously not knowing that this was a supernatural experience, but just knowing that here's this beautiful old soul, and I have to either do what I'm supposed to or do what is right. And I'm glad that I chose the way that I did, because I know even now, if I had forced him out into the cold, I would have been living with that for the rest of my life, just knowing that I had done that to somebody. And so I can look back on that and feel good, you know. So I think that that's the value really for me. So
I agree. Yeah.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Nathan from the Quantum Show. Yeah. Yeah. Like in the, what is that in the Holy Grail, the Indiana Jones? He did not choose well.
Yeah.
The guy's grabbing the ornate cup and he's like, he did not choose wisely. So, yeah, I know that it was the right thing to do, but it was, you know, it was a good character development moment for me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyway, that was my own personal story. Didn't mean to take up a good chunk of the show with it, but
A lot of talking, a lot of yapping this episode, but I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm glad you liked it, Weird Traveler. Thank you. True story. True. Absolutely. Hand to God. That was a real experience.
Mm-hmm.
You showed what you're made of. Beautiful story. Thanks for sharing, brother. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. Yeah, we Central. I appreciate it. That's Sarah. She's a beautiful soul from down under. She's been a guest on the show several times. You'll have to get
Have
you
I
back
met
on.
Sarah? I'm so sorry if I have.
No, it's been a while since she's been on. So not since you've been coming on, but we'll have to get Sarah back on. She's a great interview. We've had a lot of great discussions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let me continue on this article. What time is it? I mean, we started a little late anyway. I'll do one more.
Holy moly.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
just the time?
I was
Yeah.
flying. Woo.
It is. Time flies when you're in the portal. All right, number 18, mirror writing. My dad died in a motorcycle accident a few years ago, and after he died, weird stuff started happening in my dorm. When I got back, the clock would fall off the wall and change time. Batteries would separate themselves from remotes, and bangs and knocks were regular. But the weirdest thing that happened was when I was back home from college, and I took a shower and got dressed and was headed back to the bathroom to finish getting ready, and the mirror was just clearing off the steam, and lo and behold, I see smear marks faintly that looks like lettering. So I tip the mirror because it's one of those triple pane medicine cabinet mirrors, and I see, hey, spelled out in his handwriting with the elven eye symbol that was in Lord of the Rings that my dad would put everywhere. And that was probably 6+ months after he passed. And I have no idea where it came from since it was only me and my mom in the house, and I know she wouldn't do that. I have a picture of it, and I will try to find. The crazy part is, like a week before that, I had broke open a glow stick and it splashed on the mirror, but the writing was under the splashes and none were smeared or touched. And to this day, cannot explain how it happened. We actually took the entire mirror off the wall so that it wasn't ruined. Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
So it became a shrine of sorts for them.
Yeah.
That's neat. Again, like after my dad passed, he was all kinds of present. You know, he was all kinds of active in the house that my mom and he lived in. And, you know, my mom still lives in. But there was always weird stuff happening there. Yep.
Wow.
Oh, no, I never did ask anybody else. Grandizer, I didn't know anybody else in that whole area. I was like, it wasn't like there was a network of us security guards there. I was like the only one probably within miles. And I was in this low-income housing parking garage. So it wasn't like I was, tied into a network. Hey, this is number 5. Anybody seen a Santa bum or the homeless Santa guy? No, I didn't know anybody around there. So I had no help. I had no contact. It was just me being there for a shift. So, just to watch cars during the dead of night I don't know what the area is like now, but it used to be really sketchy back then. I'd hear gunshots and screams in the distance all the time. And here I am with my mag light. And I'm like wearing a cheap polyester security suit, and It's like, yeah, I'm sticking out like a sore thumb.
Oh
So,
no.
yeah, I just wanted to crawl into a gutter and just wait until morning. But, I did my job. I never had a car broken into the whole time I was there. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep.
Amen. What was the word? Sorry, I'm running water. It said hey. It said hey, Justin. Like H-E-Y, but then the I from Lord of the Rings. I guess the dad was well known for making the Eye of Sauron, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what he's talking about because there's no I in hey, but yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So very cool. Yep. Yeah, it sounds great. Sheldon, looking forward to it. Oh, yeah, Sarah.
I was just saying I would love to do a show with her. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we can do it on a Friday night. We just got to see when Miss Sarah is available, because
Come on, Sarah.
she's
Yeah.
she's actually entertaining the idea of possibly coming to Vernal. So
Oh, that would be lovely.
it would be lovely. Sheldon will be
Meet
there.
her twice.
You can meet her twice.
That's right.
Twice as much fun. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I love Sheldon's background. It gives me the real X-Files vibe. Sheldon
That's
is
a good point.
Sheldon is the resident Fox Mulder. So yeah.
That's right.
All right. What time do we have? Because we got to get to some cryptids here. Let's do that.
Lordy.
Oh, Lordy is right. Lordy.
You're never getting through this article when I'm on it. Oh my God.
No, it's fine. I don't care if this article takes 3 months to get through. That's fine. It's
Okay.
perfectly fine. Each story is just as entertaining as the last. I like that. I like all of them. They are very brief stories, so it's hard to get a real insight on what's going on, but they create good discussion points, just talking about different phenomena. And, in this situation, we were able to tie it into personal experiences, and share that. So that's pretty cool. All right. Oops, I did not mean to close that. I didn't close it. I just minimized it. Good. Save the day. All right, we're going to start with the cryptid corner now, ladies and gentlemen. Grandizer Brents, hit me up. I'd love to hang out with you guys again. Yeah, Sarah, as soon as I get my new computer done, the problem I have is this computer is just old. It's like 8 years old. It's just about, it's not powerful enough for the live streaming, multi-streaming anymore. And I get lag spikes like crazy and all kinds of other issues that aren't coming from latency on the computer or on the internet. It's coming from latency in my computer, just trying to catch up. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's maddening. I hope that's what it is, because if I got this new computer and have the same problems, I'm going to be pissed.
God, at that point, what would it be? Was it?
I don't know. Then
I
it would be
guess it
my
would be your
internet.
internet.
Yeah, which probably is a place I should have started, but I know that even like rendering videos and stuff and working on sound files and compiling all that it just dogs and dogs and dogs. And it's like, yeah, I think it's just the system's getting slow.
Actually, yeah, you're right. When I was there, I never had an issue with the internet there. Never. So,
No, it's
yeah,
a
gotta be-
gigabit fiber, so it shouldn't be.
Oh, that's.
I
right,
don't think
yeah.
I actually get a gigabit though, but I think, it's a good fiber connection.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm paying for a gig. I probably get half or a third of that. But anyway,
Oh my God, Nathan! I used a dual core for 15 years. Oh my Lord! How did you do it?
yeah, you're a beefcake, brother. If you pulled that off, I don't know. This is better than the dual core. It's a quad core, but it's 8 years old. Grandizer, have you ever give us a tour of your studio? Well, if it wasn't so full of shrapnel from the rest of my life, I would feel much more comfortable doing that. However, I am in the process, as I merge this computer into the place of this one, I'm taking this computer and putting it on the back side of this for the music workstation, because right now I'm trying to use a laptop, which just definitely can't keep up with the music production. I get all kinds of lag and problems. So I'm also going to be cleaning out that side of the room. So once I get it all tied back together, I'll bring you guys on a tour.
Because I know one side of the room looks really pretty, but the other side.
This wall is like the only good part. So, yeah, computer's going to be their retirement home. Yeah, it's going to the music workstation, which is good. And I'll still use it probably for rendering videos and stuff, just letting it sit, chewing on videos while I work on other things on the other computer. So, because then if it's rendering a video for like a podcast or something, I don't need to worry about it getting done really, really quickly. If I do, I'll do it on the new system.
Yeah.
Nathan
Yeah,
Nate,
there you go.
Quantum Show, loved it. Have you ever given us a tour? No. What do we got here, Grandizer? We see what you did there. You said the article was about stories you don't read at night and go to bed, and you turned it around with a heartwarming story. Yes. I'm sorry, the font is so slow or small. I got to lean in. It doesn't have my restream chat, which is much bigger.
He's an old
font.
man, guys. Give him a break.
I'm getting old. It's just, yeah. I'm going to need a braille screen here pretty quick.
Oh, no.
Just got to feel for the words. Yeah. Never know. But anyway, show us how the sausage is made. Hey, this is a family show. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
First, it starts with love. No, wait. Different sausage. You gotta admit that was the easy, cheap, low-hanging fruit answer.
Yeah, low-hanging fruit. There it is.
Well, that's me. That's where I harvest mostly. So, all right, we're gonna get to the cryptid corner, ladies and gentlemen. So let's dive into some creature stories. We're only gonna have time for a couple, but we'll get to what we can. Here we go. It's time for the cryptids in the corner. Well, actually, Phil, my house is kind of small. So it's not like a big sprawling mansion or anything. It's very small,
It's a small mansion, guys.
Right.
It's not a big one.
This is literally one of the smallest houses in this region of the town. It's all an old. It's one of the earliest houses built here. It's been refabbed inside, but it's like, you know how they made in the old houses, like there's rooms, but they're really small rooms. That's like this place, and so it's literally 3 bedrooms, and one of them's being used as a studio, and it's got a small living room, small kitchen, 1 bathroom, which let me tell you how much fun that gets to be. Not much, just saying.
Yeah.
My next house will definitely have more than 1 bathroom. Yeah, might have more
Yeah,
bathrooms.
it's all about the mindset, Dad. You don't live in a small house. You live in a very small mansion.
Jesus.
Yeah. See? Mindset.
Yeah.
Mindset.
Yeah. Thank you. With a small bank account, too. How do I make that sound good, Sheldon?
You're. I don't know. I can't help you there.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
I can't help you that one.
I can't even think of anything to try to dress it up with. Yeah. Anyway. All right, let's get to the cryptids, folks, because we got to talk about some creatures and stuff. And we're going to be heading off to Sasquatch Chronicles to start out the journey. And Mr. Wes Germer's site, this is a great one. Please stop over there and check out the blog if you haven't. Wes has done an amazing job on the blog over there and continues to always post some incredible listener stories that he gets, and I think they're amazing. So the first one is from March 28th. That's today, right? Yeah, it's today old. This is Sasquatch fighting. Ooh, this looks good. A listener writes, I live in Ontario, Canada. Today on my drive home from work, I pulled off to take a washroom break on the road shoulder. A washroom break on the road shoulder? What exactly are you washing? That's
How does that work?
I think that's called a leak. Anyway, I thought I could hear some noises from the trees on the other side of the road, but when I looked, I couldn't see anything. Well, I finished up and jumped back in the truck and started to pick up speed. I caught something in my peripheral vision to my left, which is probably where that noise I heard was coming from. It was thick brush and forest, and the snow is still melting here, but I thought maybe I'd turn and just see a horse. There are many farms out here where I live 2 hours from Toronto. And when I looked left, I could see 2 dark figures about 40 meters into the brush. One of them was running away from the other on 2 feet. I knew then it was no horse, but the other one looked shorter and only moved its arm up in the air, maybe. Its arm up in the air, maybe. I couldn't really tell, so I started to slow down and decided maybe that's people and they're having some kind of emergency. So I quickly hit my 4-way hazards and came to a stop on the shoulder. Then I proceeded to back up, and as I continued to scan the forest for the one that was running, I realized I could no longer see him. And I thought, well, that was rather strange. When I backed up far enough, I could see the other being was still at about the same distance from the road as when I passed by. And that's when I could clearly see like a conical shaped head. And it was obviously a furry or hairy animal. But quickly, judging from the size, I could see it appeared to be looking in my direction. And my heart almost skipped a beat. Definitely started beating faster. So I quickly stopped the truck and grabbed my phone and started filming. I used to hunt with my dad when I was younger, so in the video you will notice I hesitate before I got out of the truck. I was assessing where the big fast guy went. I didn't see him still, so I jumped out and across the road while filming. I made 2 videos, posted the shorter one on YouTube, and I'd like to give you exclusivity to the longer video, my friend. Anyway, you can eventually see that the one closest to me is more than likely dead. He has a tree branch through his neck. It looks like he's on his knees, I guess, and appears to be partially disemboweled. Jesus, this better be a hell of a video. You can see bones and blood, by the way. Hope you're not eating while you're watching. I'm pretty sure you can hear the other one breaking branches a little further to my right, but I still couldn't see him. And I didn't think I could fight this bastard if this dead one was on his knees. He's probably roughly 8 feet standing and would make this one, other ones that's breaking the branches, like probably 10 feet tall, because he looked 4 feet taller than the one that when he was running away. He's such a big boy. So I stopped filming and went back to my truck. Bro, is this what Sasquatch are doing to each other? Anyway, you can see signs of the struggle too, from broken trees and branches to a down power line, but that line is dead anyway. They've been moving lines underground in this area for years, but still, looks like a fight scene out of Mortal Kombat, man. Well, I don't know where the video is, though. You got to show us the video, yeah. I don't know if Wes is going to post the video or what's going on. And maybe he didn't post it because it's hard to make out anything, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm so curious of that video.
I mean, I went back up to look at the date. It's not April, is it? This is March 28th, so it's not April 1st.
Yep, no, it's not. It's not an April Fool's joke. Nope.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But anyway.
Yes.
Well, I don't know unless there was some issue, and I don't know. But I would say that it's pretty interesting. World Traveler says, I think I read this story already. I remember the Mortal Kombat line from Weird Traveler. Weird Traveler. I thought it's the World Traveler. Oh. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. That's what they wrote to Wes, though. So that's what Wes posted. But I don't know about the video, and it's not been shared that I can see. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Sasquatch
yeah,
fighting.
that's a really good one to keep an eye on.
And maybe it's going to be an interview and a show, and he'll showcase the video at the same time.
That could be.
Which sometimes happens too. So be patient, or at least, if there's any explanation forthcoming, we'll be sure to let you know. But let's go to the next one. This is Sasquatch Chronicles blog, March 27th. Upcoming guest. The face was hideous. Oh. Sometimes, the people report, oh, it looked just like a person. Just like a person. But other times, they say it looks like a monster. Like what they're seeing is horrendous and terrifying. And other people, have seen them and said it looked just like a handsome man, like cheekbones and, you know, chiseled features and a little wider nose and stuff, but it looks like a very hairy bearded man. So there is quite a bit of biodiversity involved with this, but the ones that's the face was hideous, those are a little more frightening to me, and I imagine visually so too. But anyway, let's check out. Justin Gooder says, Brent, what's your favorite editing software? I started dabbling again, and I'm learning DaVinci. That's what I'm using as DaVinci. When I'm doing videos, I use DaVinci, Justin. It
DaVinci's
works
amazing.
It works great. It's very robust, and the free version does everything I need it to do, but if I ever needed more, I could just pay for the full version. But and they also make peripherals for it, so yeah. I would recommend it. It's a free program if you're getting into digital video editing. Check out DaVinci. There's tons of help files on YouTube or other platforms to walk you through it, how to use it and how to do things. And it's amazing. It's really a very, very powerful program. So check it out. DaVinci Resolve.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been using it since version 17, maybe 16, but I really like it. It's up to 19 now. I don't update the one that's here because I know how to use it really good, but I put the new version on my new computer, so I'll be playing with that in the future. But yeah, that's what I recommend, brother. All right, the face was hideous. Let's find out what's going on here. A listener writes, I grew up in Lexington, Kentucky, and although not originally from here, we moved here from Arizona when I was about 3 years old. My stepfather was an avid outdoors person and he was divorced from my mom, but always had us on weekends. And I pretty much grew up camping, fishing, canoeing, little hunting, and hiking. Well, I work in construction, and I've been self-employed for the last 10 years. I mostly nowadays do tile and hardwood, but I've done about everything in residential home construction. I met a guy whose name is John Karloftis, and he's a Kentucky native who is, as I've been told, a world-famous landscaping architect. If you're from central Kentucky area and are in the older social scene, you would know at least about this guy. At the time, I had a real heavy workload, so I planned on going down on a Saturday morning and working all day and night till the job was done. I was hoping there might be a campsite somewhere nearby, and I was going to either take a tent or camp out in my car. Well, I got down there and got to working Saturday mid-morning, and as it got dark, I was still going strong. I was making good progress and figured around 3 or 4 in the a.m. I might have time for a little nap. Wow, this guy's a beast.
Well,
After it got dark, I would periodically go outside and take a breather and just look at the stars. Lexington isn't by any means a big city, but it has enough light pollution. You can only see the major constellations, and I love seeing the Milky Way. And it was mid to late April, and everything was starting to come out. Insects were out, so were the frogs, and every time I went out, you could really hear them. Okay. I kept on making good progress, so around probably 2:45 or 3, I made a little bed on the floor and figured I'd just take a 2-hour nap. I'd gone outside right before this and was just dead silence. Not a frog or insect could be heard. I did hear something weird, though. I could hear this one bird making a call, and then from another area I would hear an answer. Ruh-roh. It wasn't an owl, but I figured there might be another type since it was spring and that it was looking for a mate. And this is when I think it happened. Ever since my first ghost encounter, if I'm not in what I consider a safe and familiar place and I'm alone, if I go to sleep, I usually turn on some music just so I'm not listening to or have to hear weird noises. For me, it takes any possible fear/scare factor out of the equation. So I'm starting to nod off, and I thought I would have no trouble in doing so since I was beat, but guess I had enough energy running through me from still working that I didn't just pass out. The front of this house was all glass pane doors, as it had originally been a country store before being converted into a residential building. So I'm laying on my side looking away from the doors, and And I get this feeling that I'm being watched. At first I thought I was dreaming, but I can't even ever think of a time when I dream, am I in the same spot as when I went to sleep in? So I slowly turn over, and in the last door looking in, I saw it. I could pretty much just see the face, and it was hideous. I hate to put it like that, but if it was a Bigfoot, it was no Harry and the Hendersons' lovable face. If you've ever seen Jeepers Creepers, the closest thing I could describe it as would be having the face of the creeper, but with some light hair. I mean, this thing looked evil. I don't know, he might have been an alright dude, but he was not blessed with any good looks. That's interesting. It's interesting that he noticed the dead silence, though, too. Like, it got dead quiet. Well, that's your first red flag.
Indicator. Yeah.
That's a red flag right there for sure. So, yeah, when it gets quiet, there's a reason for it. There's one more.
I was going to say, where's the rest of the story? But that's an upcoming guest. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's an upcoming guest. So I'm sure there'll be more in the actual interview. But, yeah, there's one more from Sasquatch Chronicles. And then we'll just chat a little bit, and then we'll call it a show.
All right.
Hey, we could launch a bottle cap. Haven't done that
Show the
forever.
experiments again. That's right.
I like doing that. That's fun. We'll launch a bottle cap after this. Celebrating the show. All right, this one's from March 27th. Upcoming guests. He's got a lot of upcoming guests. He's a busy guy, Wes is.
Yeah.
Crouching Behemoth, quadrupedal Sasquatch. Crouching Behemoth, quadrupedal Sasquatch, eyewitness accounts. John from episode 883, if you remember, he is a nurse and had an encounter in 2020. Spoke to John. He wrote a book from the eyewitness accounts in his area of Kentucky. I invited John back to the show to discuss his new book. And here is a like along with the description. For centuries, reports of bipedal Sasquatch have captivated the public, but a lesser-known phenomenon lurks in the shadows, encounters with quadrupedal Sasquatch. These chilling sightings challenge conventional wisdom, forcing us to consider what we think we know about these elusive creatures. In Crouching Behemoth, Quadrupedal Sasquatch, we have the first book of its kind. It's a result of an almost 3-year deep dive into spider crawls, as well as the walking, running, and gallops on all 4 limbs. Renowned anthropologist Dr. Jeff Meldrum lends his expertise in an exclusive interview shedding light on the biomechanics and plausibility of this behavior. While he did not fully endorse this type of maneuverability, it is very interesting in what he did say regarding the aforementioned type of behavior and more. Charlie Raymond, one of the top field researchers and founders of the KBRO in Kentucky, weighs into it as well. Besides the multitude of frankly disturbing eyewitness testimony, we'll also hear from Dr. David Harmon, a distinguished physician in the treatment of PTSD, and how a traumatized witness can be treated. If all this doesn't convince you that this is definitely a different kind of Sasquatch book, you will find that although the subject matter is treated very seriously, there is much humor sprinkled in throughout this 400-plus page volume to lighten it up once in a while. This book is a fun must-read for Bigfoot enthusiasts, skeptics, and anyone fascinated by the intersection of science, mystery, and the human experience. This book has it all. Well, almost all, as the scratch and sniff Sasquatch fragrance was eliminated because I didn't want people out there saying this book stinks. I like it. You might just like this one, folks. Well, there you go. Very cool.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, okay, so John R. is the guy, and he's actually participating in the comment section there. So, yeah, congratulations, John R. Hope your book does great. And
awesome.
Apparently he's going to be a guest and talk about his book again on Sasquatch Chronicles, so very cool.
Excellent.
Very cool. Googway, Grandizer, you always say Googway. The face eaters. Arr. You don't need a face, do you? Face schmace. No, I'm just kidding. I need my face.
Yes, you do.
Without it, it just wouldn't be good. Those are hippie Bigfoot. I'm just looking at the comments here to see if we missed anything, Sheldon.
I was reading the story along with you, so I've not been paying attention all
Oh,
of
way to go. Way to go. Yeah, I'll take care of the reading. Thank you. I'm just kidding. Actually, we could start a segment where you read a story too.
I mean, yeah, I used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done that from time to time. Didn't you used to read the questions of the week?
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
that's right.
And that was good. That was good. You did good with that. But
Yeah, I wouldn't
Since-
mind. You know what?
we do that on Saturday nights. That you're not here, so
Yeah, true.
unfortunately, that's not possible. What is your favorite editing? Okay, I'm just looking at the comments, see if I missed anything. Was there any questions so far from all you guys in the chat? Anything that you want to address before we wrap up the show?
I mean, I guess I've thought about that too. That must be what Wookiees got to be based upon Sasquatch.
Wookiees?
I mean, yeah.
Lucas says no. He says,
Really?
yeah, George Lucas has said no. There's no correlation there, but it's hard to think that there couldn't be. But you know,
Yeah, they look so similar. Little differences, but like mostly similar.
yeah. But no, when George Lucas has been asked that, he's like, absolutely not. It was just a stretch of, you know, creating another alien being that was different. So,
Guess confirmation bias then. All right.
do you have time to cover the different types of Sasquatch in the North American continent? Well, I mean, Grandizer, that's almost impossible because even things like Googway versus Sasquatch, it's like, are we sure those are two very disparate and different type of Sasquatch? Even from the skunk apes to the grass man to the, you know, to the Pacific Sasquatch versus the southern boogers, are they different, or are they just possibly they just developed differently because of the terrain that they live in, or the part of the country they live in?
Yeah, it's like people. You know, there's different variations of people, but we're all people.
Right. There's a theory in biology, and it's based on scientific analysis, but I think it's called Bergman's law, and that is that the further away from the equator that an animal exists, the larger they become.
Oh,
So,
right,
in other words, things that live close to the equator or closer, like for instance, the skunk ape, a lot of people describe them as being around 7 feet. Now, I've heard plenty of reports coming out of Florida and other southern areas that say 10 feet is, you know, not unheard of. So I don't know if there's merit to that or not. But of course, in the Pacific Northwest and in Canada and in Alaska, you're getting further and further away. Those are apparently giant ones, but still, most encounter reports come in at about 10 feet on the top end. There's some claims that are like, oh, it's 15 feet or better. Those are real standouts, but it's hard to know, because when people are seeing something like that, they're in an adrenalized state, as Shell Dion says, and I like that saying. They're in an adrenalized state, so you know, witness recall under absolute stress, it's going to be a little different than somebody in a real objective mind space. You know, like, people become bigger. You know, there's so many reports of perpetrators. He was at least 6'5", 6'7", and then they get caught and they're like 5'10". You know, because in the mind of the experiencer, when they saw something tragic happen, you know, the recall of it was so much bigger. Well, it could be very much the truth for Sasquatch too. But according to Bergman's rule, the further away from the equator, the bigger a species becomes. So it's hard to understand if that's actually true or not again. But then there's the different types, like the type 1 through 4, or depending on who you talk to, there's allegedly different phenotypes of Sasquatch. And maybe there's just enough biodiversity in these Sasquatch to appear very differently. Like, for instance, if I was standing next to an NBA player, it would look like they were a different type of human being than me to an outside observer. Because I'm not 6'8", I'm, you know, 5'10", well, maybe 5'9" now, I don't know. But I'm right in that range. But I would look like I was from a different branch of the human tree, even though I'm not. So it's hard to say. There's any kind of discussion like that is largely speculative, because Our body of knowledge of these things is incredibly small. I mean, actual knowledge. There's lots of theories. There's lots of ideas. There's even legendary precedents in like the First Nations and stuff for like the Gugwe and the hairy men and the Sasquatch or Suchwe or whatever the actual pronunciation was in the Salish native language. But it's hard to be able to say with any kind of confidence. Now there are hosts out there that'll tell you all day long that there are different types of Sasquatch and they know it and they can sit there and cite references, but it's largely speculative, and I don't know. I can't speak with any authority on any of that. So I think I heard that the Heidelberg is a different classification from the Sasquatch of the Patterson-Gimlin film. Yeah, I mean, that's again, it's very speculative though. So, there seems to be a pretty broad biodiversity in these creatures. So is it the same species? Is it these, branches of the same tree? I don't know. There's no way I can comment on that. Yeah. So, but anyway,
it's a good point. Humans vary. It wouldn't be surprising if Sasquatch also vary, but there's all Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots up there in NorCal. Yeah, there's Sasquatch in there for sure. Justin Gooder says fishing story equivalent to me, and you're probably right. Dog Digger says, in my experience, there's lots up here in Northern California. Yeah, I'll bet there is. That's, of course, in Bluff Creek is where the famous footage came from. And that was already a hot spot back in '67 for people interested in Bigfoot. There was lots of sightings coming out of there. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap up the journey tonight. Hopefully when you tune in tomorrow, anybody see the ghost ball go off at all? Anybody?
I did not.
I didn't either, but I normally don't, but I've been trying to put it up on screen so that I can see it if it does. But apparently nobody wanted to flash the ball tonight, and that's okay. They don't need to, but I do notice the ghost radars had a few blips going on, but 37 seconds, 38. Oh, there was another. So it detected 2 spirits within for about 38 seconds, but when I looked on the radar, it was showing 3 dots for the first one. But I see it detected 2 for about 37 seconds, and that was at 7:30. So, it was literally 5 minutes apart. Okay, gotcha.
Wow.
Okay, 8:47 was 1 for about 28 seconds. So we got a lot of long-term visits going on here, apparently, according to the Ghost Radar. Which is the best documented Bigfoot encounter? I don't know. I think they're all, probably the best documented one is the Patterson-Gimlin. Hands down, probably bar none. Of course, that's footage as well, but it's also an encounter story. But they actually did provide evidence. I would say the Paul Freeman's experiences are probably a close second, which also yielded video evidence and photographic evidence and castings. Patty got video evidence as well as castings. I don't know if any other tangible evidence was gathered there or not. Of course, some people are saying there's a big massacre there and it's all kinds of craziness, but
jeez,
that's just another nightmare of people's fantasies running wild, in my opinion. But to each his own. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to be launching a Patreon in the very, very near future as well. And it's not that I'm trying to farm for love, but if you're able to, if you're in a position where you can, it would be greatly appreciated. But if you're not, don't worry about it. Just support the shows how you can. Like the streams. Again, comment when they're not live. That's perfect too. It helps me a ton. Recommend the streams, post them on your social media. All of these things are different ways to help get exposure to the shows and to help the shows grow. And that is just as valuable. Every one of those is equally valuable. So any way you can help, I appreciate your help. This is all been done by grassroots. This is all an organic growth and movement here. I don't advertise the show. So if you guys want to help, that's beautiful. I love it and appreciate it. What about the Glag story? Well, Glag is Kevin's account, and it's a compelling account, but it's not really, there isn't really much documented or substantiation of it other than Kevin's experiences. And I don't know. I found Kevin to be pretty convincing when I talked to him and interviewed him and met him. A very nice guy and very emotional about his experiences. And it's hard to imagine that he's faking that. But I don't think it's documented other than him telling the story. If you want to hear the Glag account, you can certainly listen to the interviews that I did with Kevin. I think he appeared 2 or 3 times on the show. But I know Duke on World, what does he call it now? World Bigfoot Central or something like that. It used to be World Bigfoot Radio, but he changed it to Central now. And he did several episodes with Kevin, so probably get a much more robust idea of Kevin's experiences over on World Bigfoot Central. But yeah, I don't know. That's what we got.
That's what we get.
Yes. What happened? What happened? How did Owl 13 delete messages?
Looks like that shouldn't have been deleted.
I don't understand.
Oh, it was just a mistake.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird. Okay. All of a sudden, these messages just disappeared. Okay.
I've seen it, so like, wait.
I was like, wait,
what's
what?
going on?
Oh, thank you, Linda. Linda gifted membership. And it looks like Bass Girl 42. You're now a member of the Paranormal Portal, at least for a month. Hope you enjoy it. I do plan on actually making it worth your while. So, it's all these grand ideas I have, but hopefully that'll be true. Anyway, oh no, remember when on Jimmy Church Fade to Black, they said you saw Gleg? Yeah, I don't know why that was going around, but I didn't see Gleg. If you ever heard that, that's not true. I was there with Kevin in Coloma when apparently Gleg was there. I didn't see him. So if anyone else did, that's fantastic, but I didn't see Gleg. So I can't, if I had, I'd be happy to say, yeah, dude, I saw that thing. That was crazy. Unfortunately, I didn't. So.
Honesty first, guys. Honesty
well, I mean,
first.
integrity is important to me. I mean, honestly, I'm happy to tell you what I have seen, and I make no bones about it, but I will never tell you something that I've experienced that I haven't experienced. I don't need that kind of, I don't need to be acknowledged that much. Like, I think the experiences I have had are amazing and incredible, and I'm happy to share them, but I'll never take credit for something that's never happened. I wish it would happen. I wish I had seen Glag. I really do. Because the idea of seeing what's, might have been a 10 or 12 foot Bigfoot is in that setting was perfect. Because it's like, well, I know it's not going to eat me because it's Glag. I heard all about Glag. I know he's not going to want to put me on a sandwich and, take me in a picnic basket somewhere. But yeah. So anyway. But I didn't see Glag. It's not a true story. I think it was an embellishment or maybe even a misunderstanding. I don't know. I don't know what inspired someone to make that claim, but, to each his own. I did not see Glag, though. So, all right, that's it for the show tonight, folks. Sheldon, you got anything in closing?
That's right, guys. Don't forget, as always, paranormalportal.net, the home base of the Paranormal Portal. You can always stay up to date on new episodes, podcasts, and when we're going live. And when Dad's going live, as well as you can schedule your own interview me button right there, right on the page. Schedule your very own date whenever it works out, as well as the Discord channel. Put that right in the chat as well, so you can join the amazing community with all the amazing links and the amazing threads, all one place.
Lots of amazing going on here.
That's right, because it is.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow I think I'm appearing on Paranormal Paul's show. I think that's right. Let me look at the calendar quick before I announce that. I might be absolutely stupidly wrong. Here we go. What is it? Today is Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. Yes, I'm going to be on Paranormal Paul's show, and that will be at 5 p.m. if you want to join me then, and then come hang out with us here on the Paranormal Portal at 7 p.m. We'll be live again, so I'd love to have you here if you want to hang out, but that's what we got. So anyway, let's call it a show, right, Sheldon?
I suppose so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all I can tell you is we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice, take care of each other, help each other out, find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. And I'll be back tomorrow night. So until then, take care of yourselves. Love you, mean it. All right. Until then, sweet dreams. Good night, everybody.
Good night.